Good morning, Unity of Richmond. All right. My name's Armand Leak. I'll be a platform assistant today. I'm also co-chair of the board here at Unity. I'd like to welcome all of you here today, coming out on this rather hot summer day. Any pool plans later, guys? Also like to welcome everyone online with us today. Always glad to have you here with us. All right, next slide, please. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and repeat after me our diversity statement we have here at Unity of Richmond. Okay. Unity of Richmond is a safe and welcoming spiritual home that stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion for all people, including but not limited to color, age, ability, gender, expression, culture, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, and belief. All right. Now we are going to have our daily word. The daily word for today is generous. I honor the divinity in others through my generosity. There have been times when I relied on the generosity of others. I remember feeling grateful when they shared with Ed with open hearts, not thinking of how I might repay their kindness. This is the true gift of generosity, not just the material offered or the services rendered, but the feeling I am worthy of someone's time, treasure, and effort. This love and compassion is at the heart of my generous impulses too. I give not out of pity or even out of obligation or duty, but so others may know their worthiness through me. Each person is a divine being, made in the image and likeness of God. I honor each person's divinity by doing what I can to help and support them as others have helped and supported me. And our Bible verse is from Proverbs 22:9. Those who are generous are blessed, for they share their bread with the poor. And if everybody would repeat after me. I honor the divinity in others through my generosity. One more time. I honor the divinity in others through my generosity.
Please stand and join us for our congregational.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
How about that? Okay. All right, let's settle in for our opening prayer. Let's take a nice deep cleansing cup. In this perfect moment, with perfect love, we know and declare that all is in divine order. We are filled with gratitude for each and every opportunity that we have been given, knowing that all will be fulfilled for our highest and best. We all know that all are blessed with never-ending love. And so it is. Amen. Okay, next we have our Metro Richmond prayer, if everyone would repeat after me. We pray for the criminal justice system in metropolitan Richmond, for the victims of violent crime and for those who perpetuate violent crime, for situations and institutions that condone, promote, or encourage violent behaviors. Thank you. All right, opportunities. Okay, right after this service, we are having our town hall, our beginning of the summer town hall meeting. We are going to have a light potluck luncheon, and the meeting will start at 12:45. So hope everyone here will attend. Those online that would like to join us for the town hall, the link to join will be in the comments section. So we hope you will also join us for that. Okay, and we're having our summer chant night with Reverend Val and Dan O'Neill. That's a night for another beautiful chant night. We chant, we lift the vibration of the community and raise our energy into peace and wellness. So join us for chanting and meditation with Unity of Richmond in person, and this will also be on live stream. Okay, karaoke night, people. Happening again. This one is going to be Friday, this coming Friday now, June 28th. I've decided the theme. We've been having different themes for karaoke night. It's going to be beach night. So like a night at the beach. Yeah, some Beach Boys or whatever. I can tell you it is fun. I've been so pleased with the turnout to the karaoke night. We've been having anywhere from 15 to 20 people. So it's a great time. It's a lot of fun. We even have people come up there and get the mic that never had sung in front of people before. So, and if you just want to come and watch and have a good time, please come, because we really do have a blast, and we look forward to having you guys there. Okay, and we have a contemplative service coming up. This will be next week. We generally do these on the 5th Sunday of the month. So we would love to join us for our 5th Sunday contemplative service, Reflection of Inner Peace. We create a tranquil atmosphere through moments of meditation, prayer, and quiet contemplation. And all are welcome to experience this restorative power of this sacred space. And I can tell you it is a very, very, very special time. So please join us for that. Gala dinner. Our first gala dinner is being kicked off on July the 4th. It's going to be our July the 4th picnic. And actually, we are going to be passing around a sign-up sheet. Maire's going to get that started. Please let us know if you're planning on attending, so we can have a number count on how much food and goodies we need to have for everybody. So please come. I always like to say, bring a friend, bring family. This is just going to be a fun time. Hamburgers, veggie burgers, all the fixins, lemonade, iced tea. So please come out. The cost will be, because gala dinners, that's one of our main fundraisers of the year. The cost will be $15 for adults, and then children under 8 get to eat for $5. And we start this at 6 p.m. What's really cool about it is if you want to hang around for fireworks, we got the field right next door to us. bring chairs, whatever. It's a lot of fun after we eat and visit with each other, just to hang out and watch the fireworks at the Dogwood Dell. So please come out there. Thank you. I believe that is enough, so we're going to have Heather come up and sing a song for us along with the band.
Thank you, Armando. Bringing the fun here to Unity of Richmond. Good morning, everyone. Happy to see all these beautiful faces. This morning is about reminding each other that we are more than enough, as is. We don't do anything, just remember. So keep that in mind. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? For infinite love made me, made everything I see, how I will ever be. Infinite love, let my soul know the truth. Whatever I choose to do, infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe you have created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Infinite love made me, made everything I see, all that will ever be. Infinite love, let my soul know the truth. Whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. More than enough. More than enough. More than enough.
That was beautiful, guys. Thank you so much. All righty. Let's get on to the really good stuff here. Our guest speaker today is Maire Taylor, LCSW. She and I also share that. We're both LCSWs, so. Maire has been active in Unity for over 20 years. They are currently honored to render sacred service at Unity of Richmond as a prayer chaplain. Maire has presented workshops to Unity of Bonaire, Unity Spiritual Center of Springfield, Unity Center of Light, Oceanside Unity, Unity in Seven Hills, and Unity of Billings, and previously at Unity of Richmond. You've been busy. Wow, impressive. In 2013, Maire launched their private practice, Be the Change Counseling Services, LLC, which they continue to this date. Maire is pleased to tithe their talent to their beloved Unity of Richmond community. So without any further ado, here is Maire.
All right, so let's start out with a little humor. So there's a man on one side of the river, and there's a woman on the other side of the river. And the woman sees him, she kind of looks around, and she goes, "Hey, how do you get to the other side?" And the man looks at her kind of in consternation and says, "You are on the other side." So it's all about perspective and what you believe is true. We experience what we believe is true, whether we want to or not. Hence the name of my talk, Got Answers, Get Questioned, and the meaning of the Thomas Merton quote. The unanswered questions aren't nearly as dangerous as the unquestioned answers. Yes. So recall our third unity principle. And next slide. We determine our experience moment by moment by our choice of thought. In unity, our understanding of this principle has led to the practice of the use of affirmations and denials. Denials are also known as releases. And by the way, if you're new to this or would like a refresher, you can visit my platform talk on April 16th, 2023, using releases and affirmations to balance your nervous system. But how many folks have tried to use an affirmation without a denial and found yourself not really believing the affirmation? How many of you have used a release or denial and an affirmation and still found yourself having difficulty believing in your affirmation? Me too. That's why I go to therapy. And mind you, I'm not alone in this, and it's why I'm a busy therapist. And it's also frequently why I use the work both personally and professionally. And for those of you who are new to the work, I'm talking about the work of Byron Katie. So if you're not familiar with it, you can check out the slide. 1, is it true? That's the first question. 2, can you absolutely know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it's true? How do you react when you believe that thought? Who would you be without the thought? And then you do this thing called the turnarounds. So it's just the 4 questions, and I'll be teaching you to utilize the work in my workshop next Sunday. Today, I'm offering you an explanation of why you might want to attend my workshop next Sunday. Plus, some stuff that makes it worthwhile being here today beyond the food after the service. Have I piqued anybody's curiosity yet? Not about the food, about the workshop. So the plan is if I do well enough today, you're going to want to come to the workshop. And you can join me. It'll be an experiential workshop that will be here at Unity of Richmond on Sunday, June 30th from 1 to 4. And there's a suggested love offering of $20 or even more, because all proceeds, all of it will go to the church to benefit Unity of Richmond. And we're going to be using the work to aid us in identifying and releasing those troublesome thoughts that really cause us suffering and kind of disorder our sense of well-being in the world. And of course, if you're not able to attend, you can simply give an extra tithe today. Okay, so back to why you would want to attend. Do I have any Gary Larson fans here today? Okay, yeah, me too. So Gary and I have a bit of a dark humor. And go ahead and have the next slide, please. And you can see that this slide is about baby Jessica. Let's see if this is, well, you can't really see it when I do that. Okay, so in this first corner, let me tell you a little bit about baby Jessica, for those of you who are younger or who may not have heard this story. So baby Jessica was a toddler who had fallen into a well and become trapped for several days, and they couldn't get her out. It took several days for them to get her out and rescue her. So the story has a happy ending. But so here in this first corner upper right square, we see baby Jessica, and she is trapped in the well. And because this is the life and times of baby Jessica when she didn't get therapy, in the next corner we see her with a fishbowl on her head, trapped in the fishbowl. In the next slide, somehow she's displaced a squirrel or a skunk, and she's gotten trapped in the log where it makes its home. And in the next slide, see the giant snake there? Baby Jessica has managed to get swallowed by a giant snake. And there's the ambulance people coming to rescue her. Mom's vacuuming, and what happens to baby Jessica in the next slide? She's sucked up in the vacuum. And lastly, those aliens, those pesky aliens, yes, that's baby Jessica in the jar. She has been abducted by aliens. So this is what happens when we haven't processed our negative beliefs. We repeat them again and again, and we call this the compulsion to repeat in my line of work. So again, what we either consciously or unconsciously believe, it has great power over us. And the work is a serious antidote to the fate of baby Jessica without therapy. And perhaps you too. So, like Thomas Merton says, it's the unquestioned answers that are dangerous. The work helps us question our answers. We can't change what we can't see. It helps us see it. Byron Katie says that when we believe an untrue thought, we suffer. And not only that, but when we are suffering, it's because we are believing an untrue thought. But don't take my word for it. Come to the workshop and try and learn and test it out yourself. And I have tried to challenge this guideline many times in my life, unsuccessfully. I have shared this with scores of people with whom I've worked in therapy, and no one has found an exception to this rule after hundreds of times of trying. So if there is an exception to this rule, it must be rare indeed. So, have you noticed how often we argue with reality? You might say to yourself, I should have known better. Really? You should have? Well, did you know better? The truth is that to know better is to do better. And if you didn't do better, you really didn't know it. Otherwise, you'd not have done whatever it is you wish you'd known better not to do. Yes, yes, and you may be saying, well, but I knew it in my head, but you didn't know it in your head, your heart, and your gut. To know better, to truly know better, is to keep yourself from doing the thing you wished you hadn't done. And when we should on ourselves that way, not only are we arguing with what is, we didn't know better, and we're fighting reality. My favorite Byron Katie quote is, when you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. So what's more helpful? Spinning your wheels, getting nowhere with arguing with what is? Or admitting, radically accepting what is, and considering, what are we going to do about it? So this is another reason to attend the workshop. The work teaches us how to avoid shooting on ourselves and others. And if you can't attend the workshop, you should at least stop fighting reality. Really? You should? Now you know that there's no such thing as a should. You should. All right. So the work helps us to honor our I amness. When we fight reality and shit on ourselves or others, we separate ourselves from our spiritual inheritance. Yes. Got a thumbs up from Baba Ra. We were talking about that in our Course in Miracles today. When shoulding, right, at the level of shoulding, our consciousness is at the level of ego. That's not Christ consciousness. Instead of our mantra being Om Namah Shivaya, it becomes I shouldn't and Kriya. So, next slide, please. All right, so I see these slides don't show up very well, so let me make sure I go over this. In the circle with the red cross through it there, it says should, shouldn't, must, mustn't, have to, supposed to, ought not to, or need to. And this is bringing to our attention that the use of modal verbs fight reality, and it precipitates the belief that we require something to be different than it is. Is that true? Is that absolutely true? When we learn to do the work, we learn that it's not true. The work connects us to the only choice there really is. I just really glad I made it to the Course in Miracles this morning. Because according to the Course in Miracles, the choice is between the loving strength of Christ's consciousness and the fearless weakness of the fearful weakness of the human ego. Those are the two choices. Yes. The Course in Miracles is teaching us the choice between the loving strength of Christ consciousness and the fearful weakness of the human ego. Yes. And the work reconnects us with making that choice. That's the power of the work. You can see why I like it. So for those of you that might be scratching your head and saying, well, if I'm not going to say should, what else can I say? And you might want to try to say, next slide, it's effective to, or it wouldn't be effective to. You might want to consider saying want to or don't want to. I desire to or I don't desire to. Prefer or prefer not to. But there are very few real shoulds, if any. So, do you all know we have 11 fingers? 11 fingers, right? Yeah? Armin, come on up here and help me demonstrate our 11 fingers. Okay, so we're going to count together, and I want you to do what I do, okay? Okay, so 1, 8, you do this. 1, 8. 2 8, 3 8, 4 8, 5 8, 6 8, 7 8, 9 8, 10 8, 11 8. We've got 11 fingers. Yeah. Well, let me do it again. Let's do it again, right? Everybody do this with me, right? If you know the secret, don't give it away yet. Okay? Okay, ready? 1 8, 2 8, 3 8, 4 8, 5 8, 6 8, 7 8, 9 8, 10 8, 11 8. We've got 11 fingers. You get it? All right. Now, let's use these fingers and I'll help you out. Okay. What the trick is, 1 8, 2 8, 3 8, 4 8, 5 8, 6 8, 7 8. We skipped 8 8. Yeah. 9 8 and 10 8. So you don't actually have 11 fingers, but you thought you might for a minute, didn't you? Okay. And for being a good sport, you're going to get this. You'll know more what that represents in a few moments. Thank you. Yes, thank you. So what does the counting work and the work have in common? Well, first there's some resistance. And then comes the aha. Yeah. But, what if you learn to count the 1 8, 2 8 when you were really young, and that's what you were told was true? And so you believed that it was true that you had 11 fingers. There could be some consequences about this. Can you imagine ordering gloves from Amazon and all they have is 10-fingered gloves, right? What if you get Christmas some gloves and you're like, you put them on and you're like, but wait, there's only 10 fingered gloves here and they unbelievably fit. Yeah, that would be pretty confusing. We could try to use denials and affirmations and see if that would help. I release the belief I have 11 fingers and affirm I only have 10. But would that help when deep down you're still believing that you have 11 fingers? So I think it's time for a story. Now, Byron Katie tells us that stories are about thoughts or sequences of thoughts that we convince ourselves are real. A story may be about the past, the present, or the future. It may be about what things should be, or what they could be, or why they are. Stories appear in our minds hundreds of times a day. When someone gets up without a word or walks out of the room. When someone doesn't smile or doesn't return a phone call. Or when a stranger does smile. Before you open an important letter or after you feel an unfamiliar sensation in your chest. When your boss invites you to come to his office, or when your partner talks to you in a certain way. Stories are the untested, uninvestigated theories that tell us what all these things mean. And we don't even realize they're just theories. So, put your listening ears on because here's a story. Many years ago, a child was given a nickel. In coin in hand, the child surrendered the money to a gumball machine and came away with a treat. Sadly, this foolish child couldn't be trusted to make a good decision. You see, the coin was a valued buffalo head nickel. Unbelievably, the child had traded away the precious nickel for a mere piece of candy. The child told herself, I'm such a dummy. I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better. The years passed, and much to the child's chagrin, the older sibling still had her precious buffalo head nickel. This wise sibling had tucked it away safely amongst her other treasures. Unfortunately, the ignorant child had squandered away her nickel, and it was never to be seen again. Now, in a moment, I'll share a rewrite of this story with you. But first, I encourage you to consider a small patch of grief or anger, resentment in your own life. Perhaps it'll be similar to that of the story I just told. You might want to take a moment to write it down right now, or just make a mental note of it. Your story may be a story from long ago, or just yesterday, or perhaps even this morning. If you join me this coming Sunday and are comfortable with sharing with others, you may choose to use it for the purposes of our workshop. But in the meantime, consider a story of yours that would benefit from release and renewal, a story that would profit from alteration or two, just like the story I told you. So have something in mind and consider it now for yourself. Notice if there's a should on yourself or anyone else. Just observe and notice. And take a moment and notice any feeling of discomfort, anger, sadness, grief, whatever it is, notice that feeling. And consider doing an interesting thing, breathing it in on the in-breath and allowing it to transition within your Christ consciousness. And on the out-breath, breathing out a sense of peace or calm or joy or whatever it is that you would prefer to feel instead of the negative feeling. And do another breath at your own pace, doing just that, breathing in what you don't want and breathing out what you do want. And now consider everybody else, the hundreds of thousands of people that probably share your story, and breathe in the discomfort for them. Allow it to transition and breathe out a sense of peace for them, of expansion, of love. And in a moment of prayer, send out those positive feelings to everyone else that has gone through a similar circumstance such as yourself. Wonderful. So when you're ready, join me again. Consider the story of the young child that I just told in the nickel. Was the child dumb? Is it true? Is it absolutely true? The child thought it was true. But here's the rewrite. We begin the story again this way. Once there was, and once there was not, a very young child enamored of the gumball machine and candy. Eyes wide, standing in front of the candy machines, the child would scrutinize each one carefully before making a final decision. Putting a coin in the slot and turning the crank, the excited child would then joyfully obtain the candy, or sometimes even a small prize. It was about this time that an older person gave the young child a buffalo head nickel as a keepsake. But the small child was too young to understand the coin's worth as anything but a nickel. The child unwittingly spent the coin for candy in the gumball machine. And a bit later, when she found out the error, she berated herself. It was only many years later, as a young woman, that she came to understand that the shame from this incident never belonged to her. As it turned out, the small child self had made a fine decision, and likely the only one she could that was consistent with the stage of development that she was in. From then on, the young woman resolved to release the unfounded guilt and affirm her younger self as the clever child that she actually had been. The woman came to know the real value of a buffalo head nickel is making sure that we tell ourselves only true stories. And of course, the woman in the story is me. So I invite you to remember the value of a retold tale. And to help you to remember to tell yourself only true stories, I'm going to give you a buffalo head nickel as a keepsake. Now, mind you, I'd rather you don't spend it in a gumball machine. But if it brings you joy, then do so. So I hope I have entertained you for a bit and that I have encouraged you to question the answers to the untrue thoughts and stories that you've told. And of course, I would love for you to have the tools to do so. So I really hope to see you next Sunday for the workshop. But again, if you cannot attend for some reason, I'm totally okay with you giving an extra bonus tithe today for the church. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you and bless you. Okay, so I have so many of these Indian head nickels in the little green bags, but there may be more of us here than there are those. But I will be giving more out at the workshop, and I have them ordered. They just haven't gotten here yet. And so even if you don't make the workshop and you would like one, come see me on the 30th. So, yes, and come to the workshop. If you take one and pass that on. Oh, and so for those of you that don't get a nickel today, there are mints available. I was going to get gumballs, but Valerie reminded me that, some of us older folks may not want to chew down on a hard gumball, so you've got the mints instead. So I'll let those go around. Are we playing a song before the meditation? After? Okay. All right. So maybe just set those down from being passed around for just a moment. Barbara, go ahead and just set that down and hold it. I'm going to invite you to do the meditation and then continue passing after we do our meditation. So at open mic night, I decided to share a poem that I had written leaning into affirmations, probably around 2013 or so. And it has a Dr. Seuss flavor to it. And people who were able to attend the open mic night encouraged me to share it in the service. And so here it is. So I invite you to claim these words. There's only one exception. You'll see it when you hear it. Claim them as your own. And so now I invite you to sit back, make yourself comfortable, soften or close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and affirm. God is my source, truthfully. I hold to the truth tenaciously. I make this claim convincingly. I release all tension easily. Claiming anxiety has no hold on me. I seek first the kingdom of God gratefully. I know all else will be added unto me. The kingdom's at hand, it's true, I see. I am the change I wish to be. I pursue this purpose one mindfully. I am the change I wish to see. I am the change I wish to see with all my relations. This is the key. I am the change I wish to see and my relation to divinity. I am the change I wish to see. My body's my friend. I live healthily. I am the change I wish to see. Peace pervades my emotionality. I am the change I wish to see, embracing God with skin on, my beloved, my Valerie. I am the change I wish to see in my work. I am, yes, that is me. I am the change I wish to see. I exhibit divine order financially. I make this all manifest peacefully, for I am the change I wish to see. I am claiming it now. The world will come to see that I am the change I wish to be. I conceive this end definitively. I make this claim magnificently. I pursue my desire burningly. I feel its truth enthusiastically. Healing myself, others are healed, given unity. This is my lasting legacy. I am the change I wish to see. This is my manifest destiny. And so it is.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God.
Everybody.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God.
All right. That was beautiful, everybody. Could I call the ushers forward, please, for our offering?
Our usheristas,
Usheristas, yeah. Look at that.
our goddesses.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, let's go ahead and repeat the prosperity blessing, please.
Divine
Love expresses through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give,
and
all that I receive. I am grateful. And so we are.
I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every life. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every life. I worship you. I worship you.
Beautiful, guys. That's one of my favorites. All right, got our ushers coming up again. Okay.
Our usheristas, yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and bless our gifts. We give thanks
for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world.
Yes, we do. All right, do we have any kids? Okay, kids are coming.
They're on their own time.
Kid time.
Good time. Thank you, Armin, for being a platform assistant today
Thank you.
and joining
Appreciate
me in singing.
Appreciate it. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Maire. Don't forget, there's a workshop next week, Maire. Be there.
When is it again, Mayor?
Next Sunday after
church.
All right. And thank you to the folks in the back. Thank you to our online folks. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Truly, being here, if you catch my drift. And of course, these delightful folks over here, always sharing their divinely inspired love and joy and talent with us.
And of course, you, Heather. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for having
Thank
me.
you so much.
Yeah, it's always fun to be here. All right.
Here they come,
Hello,
everybody.
friends.
Here they come. 1, 2, 3,
We are walking
as the light, as the light,
as the light. We are walking as the light,
as the light of God, as the light, as the light, as the light,
as the light, as the light, as the light.
as the light of God. All right. What kind of trouble did you get into?
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. These guys are awesome. Do you know they're from Colorado Springs? Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. So Griffith and Cooper. And Cooper have been watching everything on Facebook. We were talking about how at a distance, we have the capability now to keep up with what's going on with each other. And we also talk about mixed emotions today. We had a great meditation, a beach meditation. Yeah, it was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Yeah. So we made these emotion bottles, and I got them to put stuff inside so they could shake it up. Look how cool they are. They did a good job. And we got emotion faces on them, so they, when they have mixed emotions about things, they can like shake it up and just come back to shaking it, and then maybe they can see their real emotion about something. So we had a pretty good time in there. I learned some rap from him. And so that was pretty awesome, which
What an eventful hour.
we also put together a puzzle that showed children from around the world, but I told them, you know, them being in Colorado Springs was just about around the world for me. So, yeah. You want to say anything? You don't? Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay. There you go.
We have a couple of others here. Or?
Thank you, Amber, for taking care of our littles.
Okay, well, hey to the little ones out there. All right, guys. As usual, with prayer chaplains are here to pray for you. Stephen here after the service. All right, and again, thank you to everyone. And we look forward to seeing everyone down there at 12:45 for the town hall meeting. All right, let's go ahead and do our prayer of protection and our peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.